My name is Shanna Meyer, and this is Josie Cheney. We teach at West Ottawa High School in Holland, Michigan. And we are in our second year of full adoption of BenQ boards in our district. We have district-wide 7,500 students, so K-12, that's the size of our district. And we said we wanted to do a fun fact. First off, I'm a high school math teacher, and she's a high school English language arts teacher. And we also this year are teaching an AI foundations class, which is really fun. Together. It's a co-taught class with 60 students in a large group instruction room. So we get to do lots of fun things with our BenQ boards. But fun fact, I was our high school mascot.
Which she went to the high school where we teach.
I was our high school mascot for 4 years while I went to high school. Got to go to mascot camp. And I am working real hard on getting Sheldon to become the BenQ mascot, which is this cute little lion.
And they can send you to mascot camp.
We're going to convince BenQ to get him a real cool costume and send him to camp.
I bet he could do like back hands.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, like back handsprings, like, right.
Love it.
Yeah. So, so I am a high school English teacher. I also, fun fact about me in Holland, Michigan, where we live and work. I don't know if you know Holland, Michigan at all, but what? Oh, okay. Well,
that's awesome.
All right. Well, when I went to high school, I learned to Dutch dance because everyone learns to Dutch dance at Holland, Michigan, and I Dutch danced for all through high school. And I did it as an alumni dancer, and I've been the West Ottawa Dutch dance, instructor coach for more than 10 years. And so I have a bunch of Dutch costumes, can dance in wooden shoes. Come see me in May. So that's a fun fact, and I love all kinds of dance.
So in our journey with BenQ, we 3 years ago went through a pilot, and we had BenQ and another board.
That was actually 4 years ago, wasn't it?
4 years ago?
Yeah, because isn't this the second full year
Maybe.
that everyone has it? Yeah, 4 years.
You guys can correct us if we're wrong on that one.
I think it's 4 years.
So we were on the pilot team. I had the competitor board, and Josie had the BenQ board. And bar none, so if you're somebody who's considering BenQ boards and wanting more information, bar none, the customer service was 100% what sold us on BenQ. And then their team's responsiveness to us for, I think we're very forward-thinking district, and we find really unique ways to use the boards to the point that it wasn't available on the boards. So we would email Sheldon and Dave and say, hey, we want it to do this. And they would respond instantly with, all right, cool, we're going to have our programmers work on it. And then the next update, we were getting all kinds of really fun tools showing up on our boards. So that's been really, really cool for each of us as a teacher to really dream big and have the BenQ team be really responsive for us. So that was really good.
Yeah, so as far as like adoption process, so, we tried some different boards that first year, and we had like a little showdown, like whose board is better, BenQ won. And then the next year we had like a pilot group, people who were really interested, and this might be, I'm sorry, we were talking before and I don't know your name, but Joan, like this might be something you might want to do in your district, is if you've always got those people who are eager to try something new, so those are the people that signed up to have them first, became not experts, but became comfortable users of the boards. And then the next year, everyone got them. So that way, in every single building or like we have really big high schools, so every single hallway or whatever, there was somebody who had had a board for a little while. And so someone could run down the hall and ask that question. And then everyone got them. And now we're our second year of everyone having them. And everyone's at a little different spot in their comfortability, but it's the, using it every day, like you just get, you're not going to break it. And I always say, people get really scared. I would say like, well, do you have a smartphone? Well, yeah. Okay. Then you can do this. You can do it.
So one tool that's on the BenQ boards is the EZWrite, which is the big whiteboard tool. And so we want to show, this is the one tool that teachers have really fallen in love with, but we're seeing are still pretty apprehensive with trying because they were having a hard time with needing to be on the board to be able to build stuff. So the purpose of our talk today is we're going to talk about some of the really great features of EZWrite, but we're also going to show you some templates of some of the really cool interactive lessons that we've created, how to use the Google Whiteboard or the Cloud Whiteboard that's in EZWrite as well. But then mostly we want to show you can actually prep anywhere. So there is a web access to EZWrite as well as an app on your computer screen. And so teachers can actually build all their EZWrite whiteboards from home if they're doing their lesson planning at home, from a coffee shop, whatever, and then be able to just pull it up on their board and teach that next day. So that's the primary stuff we want to show today.
Okay, so should we show first like one that was pre-built? Okay, all right, so I have these on a thumb drive, but you can save them. You can save them to your Google Drive, or you can save them to a thumb drive and take them anywhere. I'm not hooked up to my Google Drive here because this isn't my network, but
Google Drive would usually show up right here. So if you're logged in organically, then your Google Drive is right there. You can access
and I have
all
a
of
full,
those.
and it would be saved right in my Google Drive, and I could pull it up. So it doesn't matter where I am in the school. I can be on any board and pull it up. So that's like a really cool thing. But today I have it on a thumb drive. And so do you want to, I'm going to show the English one first. This was built by an 8th grade English teacher. They were near the end of, reading The Outsiders. And so they were getting ready to do a character analysis. And so this was kind of like the brainstorming phase, like thinking about the characters, like what did they want to say about them. And so they were going to review moments that helped to understand the character and do this. So one of the things that is over here, you'll see, oopsie, I feel good because Lauren does this all, you do this too, where you have the pencil tool on and you have to switch to the other one. I do that all the time. You can see I'm in the pencil tool so I can write on there. I don't want to write right now. So oopsie, undo. I don't want to write on there. I want to use this tool. So over here, he has his standards, which he just has off to the side if that's something that you need to have part of your lesson. All right, so then, so analyzing characters, he's got, over here, he's got, what did the character do? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is one little hitch. When Mark built this and it converted to an EZWrite file, it didn't quite match up. So if I did this myself, I might fix that really quick and then save it on my board. I could just extend that box and fix it. But so, he pulled out the things that we need to know about character moments, but I want to get to this. So then reviewing key moments, but I want to get to this page that he made. So this is a very interactive lesson. And we'll get, okay, so now they're getting down to the characters. So now, like let's say we're going to be analyzing this character. Okay, so we're going to put him over here. And then there's a little embedded YouTube video with a clip.
You got your dice and you got your character sheet. Well, it's time to roll some ability scores.
So talking about ability scores. All right, so that's part of his lesson. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to do that. You can full screen it. And then we're going to stop the video now because, all right, so then I want to click out of it. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to do ability scores. So now he made this little icon here of a star, and it's an infinity star, this little infinity. So now the kids can come up and as a team decide, okay, like give the character their ability scores. And it's just, super interactive for the kids, thinking ahead of time, like, just getting the kids involved to review the characters before they got ready to write.
And I want to show, so in this little shapes tool, you can come in here, and this is how he would have created it. He would have come and found a shape or a star tool. So he used this little star tool here. And so if I created this star, he filled it. He did all of this on his computer so that you're not clunking around on the board with it. But he filled it. He did all of that good fun. But then when I click on these 3 dots right here, I just add this little infinity symbol, and now I've got infinitely many. So the kids can keep dragging off of that same pile. The other really cool feature, we're going to be showing it in a little while, it has Post-it notes in here as well. And so especially if you're doing like a cloud whiteboarding type of an activity, putting a stack of infinite Post-it notes is really a game changer for having our students grab a Post-it note and putting a comment on a Post-it note.
So that's basically the idea of this one, but he was able to build all of this at home. And then he gets to the summary, and this might have been, you know, like the day before they started getting ready to write. The other thing that I love about having a whiteboard like this is, let's say different, you know, you've got all these stars, you've done all this work. Now you can save that whiteboard the way it is, like already marked up. And you can even, if you want, you can even add some notes on here. And so you're like, let's say you teach the same class 3rd, 5th, and 6th hour. And so what you don't want to have to like remember, take pictures of what did 3rd hour do versus what did 6th hour do. I can just save it. So I can go over here and I can save it I can save it as an EZWrite. And then that will go into my drive, but I can rename it like 3rd hour. And then the next day I can come back and we can pick up right where 3rd hour left off. And I can save a different one for 6th hour, pick up right where 6th hour left off. And like now I have like, you know, a unique whiteboard to each class. I don't know about you, but when I had my actual whiteboard, I used to, you know, I do like this whole thing with my like AP Lit class, and it would be like super detailed and stuff. Well, then I'd have to erase the entire thing and do it over again, like with another hour. And then I'd just take pictures, and I was constantly like uploading pictures of my notes to Google Classroom and things like that, or things that kids did. Now you can also save it and send it right to Google Classroom. So the aspects of that, as a teacher, I love. All right, so.
Also, and we don't have our Google Drive linked in here, but here I can click around. So just like on a Google presentation, I can come and say, all right, I'm at the end of the hour. I want to quick jump to that last slide. I can get to slide 17. But even if I wanted to, I can now add another screen. And let's say there's one other document that I didn't pull in there, and I need to pull in one other document. I can come in here and hit this little document icon. I want you to notice I can pull in another EZWrite file. So if I've created another EZWrite file, I can pull it in. This is just any document. I will say right now it has to be a PDF. And so if it's a Google Doc, you would have to have made it a PDF in order to access it this way. They just added this this year, that you can take an entire Google slide deck and pull in an entire Google slide deck. I'm going to show you in just a second what it looks like on the computers. That button's not there on the computer application. It's only on the board. Our workaround is just get the file started and save it, and now I can pull it up on my computer as well. But we could pull in a YouTube video. We could pull in any sort of a link. So if I wanted to pull in a doc, I don't think we put a doc on here, did we?
I did. That is.
Oh, yeah, this one. So this was a PDF. It's a 3-page PDF. We could put all 3 pages. We could do one of the 3. She already clicked out of it.
Sorry.
But there were different toggles on there where you could have said, I want it to be full screen.
Yeah.
Or I want it to be not full screen. I want to have some space around it. I personally rarely hit the full screen button because full screen goes down here, and now all these toolbars are in the way, so you can't see the bottom. So I usually turn full screen off so that my kids can see the entire screen. And let's just put the one in. But now as a class, we can take this document, we can read it together, we can annotate on here. And unlike on a Google slideshow where in order to advance a slide, you would have to erase all of your annotations before you advance, all of your annotations save.
And, you know, I like it too because, you know, I can write, I have a dark background on this one, but I can write over here, same thing. Whatever annotations we did, we can save to that class's, whatever we did with that class. And I do love that you can keep adding on to a whiteboard if you want to add more things as well.
I was going to see if it will let me. Didn't think so. All right, let's pull up the math one.
Okay.
I mean, math is super fun, right, guys? You know it. All right, so I'm a math teacher, so I love doing all of this good fun. So in this lesson, this is the same type of thing. I'm gonna make sure my touch tool is on. Like we've attached these little standards things. This was just something that we had seen a template someone else made. We did not take the time to make these. Someone else had a template, and when we did a BenQ Academy, We stole it from another template, copied it, and then just changed colors. So work smarter, not harder, people. It's
and
really
that
wonderful.
is something you can do too, like teachers, if a teacher creates like a really cool EZWrite template, like they can share it with other teachers, and then other teachers can either use it as is, like with their PLC or their grade level group or whatever, or if it's just kind of a generalized template, you can change it and tweak it and make it your own.
So once again, like embedding a full YouTube video in here, you can make it the size that you want it. But remember, when you hit that play button, you can always full screen it. So it's up to you if you want to make it more full screen there, or if you want to.
One really cool thing about when you do put a YouTube video into an EZWrite ahead of time like that, you don't get all the other YouTube stuff. You don't get the shorts. You don't get the next video. You don't get the ads. You don't get like what's suggested next, and then your students all know like what you were watching on YouTube, right? Because that's awkward sometimes with high school students. They're like, Mrs. Cheney, why did you want to watch that? Although most of mine are like knitting videos, so it's not that exciting.
Knitting videos. So
people,
the moral of the story
hobbies are really good for you. Do the research.
Moral of the story is we're really cool people. So like this one is a vocab activity where the kids are supposed to grab the vocab word and drag it to the actual picture. And so these are the type of little drag and drops that kids can do with these types. There is Cloud Whiteboarding on here, so I can give access to my entire class and have kids working on various slides at the same time. And the fun thing is if I'm going to ask them for feedback or information, like with those Post-its, as a teacher, the Cloud Whiteboarding isn't working great in here. I tried it already because of the Wi-Fi, so I'm not going to look silly trying to pull it up right now. But the Cloud Whiteboarding, when people use the little Post-it notes, it puts their name at the bottom of the Post-it note. So if somebody puts some snarky comment on a Post-it note, you know who wrote the snarky comment. Like it automatically connects to their account, and we know who did it.
You know that we teach upper grades. Or
we
like,
teach high school.
In a nice way, maybe you're asking kids to answer. You know who maybe needs like some reteaching, right? Or whatever. But yeah, so, okay. All right. Any other things on this one that you wanted to show?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
So on your computer, you'll see that on my desktop, I've got the EZWrite button here. So if I go home, I have the access to EZWrite here. If I open it, that's what it looks like. And you'll see that looks a whole lot like what you just saw in there. There's a few features that aren't quite the same. So that file upload, and by the way, notice I'm plugged in on this board. So the teachers who are really hesitant about, well, I just want my projector back. Okay, here you go. So you can just plug your computer in. It's a giant projector if you're so scared. But notice that even though it's my giant projector, I can still interact with the board, or I can interact with my computer. It's really nice. It works both ways. So do you notice what button is missing here on my computer? Slides. Yeah, so Google Slides is missing on here.
That's a Google thing, though, not
it's
Sheldon's
Google.
fault. It's not Sheldon's fault, right?
So don't email Sheldon.
We can use the browser.
Yeah, well, so we're going to go. So what Sheldon just said is we can use the browser now. We sure can. So here's the browser version. So this is the EZWrite 6 BenQ.com website. So I can sign in with Google. They are having fun next door.
I know.
We need some jams, Carly. Where is she?
I know, right? She's letting us. We need some like disco.
She's in the hallway.
Like, why do we not have a disco ball?
She's dancing over there. All right, so now this is the web application. Still looks very similar to what we've already seen. And now when I click in here, I do want you to notice what's missing. Slides, still not slides, but what was added on here? Google Drive. So now I can come into Google Drive.
And this is the thing, you know, we aren't connected to our Google Drives on these boards, but we are connected to Google Drive on our network, you know, on our laptops. So that is like, you know, if you're anywhere, you can get to your, if you are a Google Drive or your OneDrive, if you are a Microsoft school, I mean, you can get to it anywhere then from your laptop and make an EZWrite.
So if I wanted to pull in this slide deck here, I'm going to go ahead and import it. You're going to get 3 different options. This option, the first one, is a multi-page object. It's going to take your Google slide deck and it puts it in a really small window on one page. And then you can interact with the entire slide deck on one whiteboard page. So your entire slide deck with the arrows, and you can make it as big or small as you want, but you're not going to advance pages on here. It's just completely embedded. The images is going to literally just take like a PDF or a screenshot of every one of your slides and paste them all on individual slides. That's usually my preference. The one thing with that one, if you have timers or links embedded into your Google slide presentation, they won't be active because it's literally taking images of your slide deck. But then the objects, it's getting better, but right now it's in beta, and it will pull over those links and timers. I'll tell you some of the backgrounds, like especially if you use like a slides carnival, like a really fun background, they don't come over well. So you'd have to play around with what those backgrounds look like. But if it's a plain slide deck with a plain background, this one comes through really well with objects, if you have links and timers.
And if you, like Shanna and I, and she's going to show you in a minute why we pull in a slideshow into EZWrite and then use it, because we teach in a large group instruction room with 2 boards, and we'll show you why we do it in a minute. But if you lose your timers and things, the one thing is you always have right here, like all of these features, so you can throw a timer up and on your board like really easily, and so we tend to just do that. And
we stopped putting timers on our slides because
we just do that. It's so much quicker. It's so much quicker. And if you can look around the room and say, you know, hold up your fingers, 1 to 3, how many more minutes do you need? Most of the kids say 3. Boom, I can put a 3-minute timer on super fast. You know, so it's we like the responsiveness of just adding it that way.
So this time for funsies, I'm going to just hit full screen just so you can see what it looks like when I put full screen on there. I'll do all of these slides. We'll hit confirm. There she goes. The web application, it looks like it's not taking up the full screen. Oops, I'm not on select. I don't know how to get it to move over. I'm going to come over here. My pinch and move. Yeah, it's not actually filling the full screen. So you would probably be able to, I haven't had that before, Sheldon? He's like,
that is a question that we have.
So it at least starts you with the image of that, but it's not going to take up that full screen. So,
but what Shanna did say, which is if you already have a slideshow, like a lot of our teachers already teach from slides. So we have been encouraging them, and if you do it on your board, pull the slideshow into an EZWrite, save it. And then if you want to go home and open up that EZWrite, you've got it, and then you can add features to it, play with it, add more interactive pieces to it at home.
And I do want to show you what that multi-object one, because it's kind of entertaining. It's tiny. So I'll give you a quick little glimpse of what that one looks like. And this is just because one of the biggest things, and the only reason we're showing you this is if you're early adopting with one of these boards, if you're going from no boards to something like this, our teachers have put a lot of time and work into their slideshows and into slide decks already. And so this was the biggest complaint is I already made all of these slide decks. Why would I open up EZWrite and remake all of these slide decks? Good question. Like, time is money. So it's nice to be able to show them that they can just pull them up in here. So there we go.
Ooh, I know what I wanted to say about importing slides as well in a minute.
So the multi-page object, I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So it comes in this teeny tiny little small window. You can click and make it a bigger window. But now your entire slide deck is in one. I think it only did the one page, didn't it? Did I click all of the pages? I might not have clicked to all the pages. I might have only clicked the one. But it's just going to do each individual page. I could go back in and add each individual page separately and then resize them as well. So lots of different options for doing it if you didn't load it on the computer or on the board first.
I have a lot of slide decks that I teach with, and I have my agenda slide, and I have all of that. And one of the biggest reasons I like importing my slides into EZWrite, and I do it just like boom, boom, boom. It takes like 2 seconds, like right before class, you can even do it. This is one of the biggest reasons. Like, imagine, this was a slide deck, right? And I moved it into EZWrite, and I want to write some things on this page. If I am running a Google slideshow in the Google Slides app on my board, which you can do right from your drive, if I advance the page, that writing is like, it's like on the glass. I mean, it's not. That's just how I explain it to people who aren't tech, right? It's like you wrote on the glass, and so the writing stays, but your slide changes, right? And then you have to erase it, and then you can't do that like annotating. If you put it into an EZWrite, if I write on this page, it lives with the EZWrite page. It doesn't, and so you can do different annotations, and then you can go back and forth and still see them and save them. And that is one of the biggest reasons I love it, because then it stays with whatever you wanted it to be on.
So I did want to show, like on the board, so we showed you the little toolbox on EZWrite. If I close all of this out, if I was just on this board, you're going to notice it's my home screen, but this little guy is still living here. This is the EZWrite tool, and so this one's called the EZ tool. It's always on the screen, but you're going to notice it's not on Josie's, and it's because she's actually in the EZWrite tool right now. So she's actually in EZWrite. If you are in any other tool, so if I unplugged my computer, actually I'm just going to go to a different connection. I don't have to unplug. If I go back to here, like this is just the plain boring screen, this tool, no matter which one of these applications I open up, that tool is always going to be available. And in that tool, I have all of those pen choices. So it starts you with the 5 colors. You can add infinitely many colors from the color wheel, and you can set your palette and set the size of your pen. So all of those tools are in there. Your highlighter tool, your pointer tool. You can take a screenshot. You can video record. But the biggest one is that little toolbox. There's that timer. That timer is available everywhere. So if I'm on a web page on Google Chrome, I have a timer available. If I'm on a Google Doc, I have a timer available. So those are all, that's like our teacher go-to. As soon as we show everybody where that timer is, everybody's really excited. Also, my favorite, if I'm over here and I'm super lazy and I don't want to go all the way over to my little tool, but I need to turn my pen on, you just put 2 fingers on the board wherever you are and it comes to you. So nice. With kids, you whistle and go, come here, boy, and then
Speaking, you mentioned recording, and I was reminded I wanted to say that. If you are doing a lesson and it's one that, you have someone who's at home for an extended absence and you're supposed to be providing copy, you need to keep them connected, or you just want to post it because it's a review and you want your students to be able to watch it again, or whatever you're doing, you can record. Your lesson, and it will record what you're writing on the screen, and it will record your voice. It's not taking a picture of the classroom. It's only recording my voice and that. Now, I do have people ask, like, can it hear student questions? Maybe not great. Like, I would probably, if it was important to the lesson, I would probably repeat the question, and then if I wanted it in there. But we do have, like, our one of our AP teachers, Burke, uses it all the time when he's doing lecture notes. And so then he records it, he records his board, all of the things he does, and then he posts it in his Google Classroom for his AP students. And it's a really great feature, and it's super easy to use.
So what that looks like is you'll see right now it's recording. So all I did was tap that little record button, and so now it shows you that it's recording up there. So now we can stop. You can name it, sure, we'll call it that. That sounds great. It's a really nice file. We'll save it to here. And then now we could pull it up and we could hear that lovely dialogue, that monologue that we just had.
To be honest, like all of these features, and just being able to like build out a lesson on your laptop, build out with like putting all of those things in. You can share it with other teachers. You can go back and add to it. You can always add pages on. You have all those built-in features. Is like, to me, it's time consuming to build those elaborate ones are time consuming to build at first. But once you built it, it's like done, and then you have it. So
we want to address questions. Like, do you guys have some questions? You want to know if it can do something, what it can do from the teacher side?
Can I remotely connect to it? Like if I'm walking around my classroom, can I still draw?
Like if you have a tablet or something, yeah, you can use the InstaShare feature. And so InstaShare is this one, and so it would connect your computer. It just pops up a code, you code in, and then you can InstaShare. Yeah.
How many students can also sync with the screen?
The Cloud Whiteboard. I've done it successfully with like 25. Last year, it can get clunky depending on your Wi-Fi capabilities. We have a class of 60, so we have not attempted it because they are not a forgiving bunch when technology does not go well.
Yeah.
But do you guys have a number of how many can join one Cloud Whiteboard at a time?
I believe when it's cloud whiteboarding, it's about 30 or 35.
it starts to get bogged down around 30, I feel like. I mean, it just, because it's so many. And I don't.
They can contribute to certain things on the screen.
You can set the parameters of what slides they're seeing. So as soon as you're setting up one of the cloud whiteboards. So my favorite, I always do the Start Google Classroom, because then it just shoots the link to Google Classroom and everyone joins with their Google Classroom link. I don't ever do this one because we have Google Classroom, I don't use this one. Mm-hmm. But I just want to show you what this one looks like. Well see if it works. I mean, we're going to roll the dice.
It kind of worked last time. It just takes it a little while.
We'll roll the dice and see how it goes. So everybody would have to put this entire website in, and then that room code, or you just QR code it, depending on your cell phone policies in your buildings. Like, we don't really want to encourage them to take cell phones out.
A Chromebook could scan it.
The link is always the same. So a
Yeah.
lot of teachers that I work with that don't have Google Classroom, if they have Canvas or Schoology or another platform, they just copy that link and drop it in their Google Classroom in their LMS. And
Yes.
the only thing the students have to do is type in
The join code.
Yes. This link is always the same. It's just the room ID changes because you open and close the room by session. So
Did people join or no? Sheldon, did you join? He's trying. So
Yeah,
the nice thing is it stays up here, like that room ID stays up here. So if a kid is a slow adopter to joining your group, and then right here you get to manage the room. So I can see Sheldon is on, and now I'm going to click the pencil. I've just now given Sheldon editing access to this screen, so he can now play around with this particular one.
you can turn kids on and off.
As a teacher, I can disable his hand raising ability if he's that kid. It's just like a boonk, boonk. But I can also kick him out if he's not being appropriate.
See, and then, yeah.
So he's drawing some smiley faces on our screen right now. What a guy. And I could be like, you done. And so now he can't do any more writing. So, and you can do that for all students at the same time as well.
Like if you want to
had
just
a whole
pause them.
classroom.
Yeah. But, and it's not just drawing. For example, like they can create a Post-it note and add it. They can, I mean, there's more than just drawing that they can do, but yeah, so.
And so now if I really liked this slide with Sheldon's smiley face, I can save it. And if this is something where now I want kids to be able to have that particular slide to do an assignment that evening, I'm going to just save that as a PDF into my Google Drive, and then I'm going to pop it right into Google Classroom.
Yeah, yeah.